Hi everyone, it's Susan Patchett from The Change Guru. Hope you're fantastic wherever you are in the world, and thank you so much for coming and having a look today. It's week 2 of our Take a Coffee break, and so that means that we're on our second week of taking a break from coffee. So Monday through Friday, no coffee, and then you have 2 days that you can play with and have just a little cup of coffee. It doesn't necessarily have to be Saturday or Sunday that you have that one cup. You can mix it up so you can have it during the week, whatever you want. But the main thing is this is a moderate break from whether it's coffee or chocolate or your usual glass of wine or whatever that thing is that's been dragging you down. This is an opportunity to take a break from that and to create new habits. So this week, week 2, we're going on our second week of not drinking any coffee, and for me that feels good because I don't have my headache anymore, which feels fantastic, and I'm just kind of getting into the swing of things, and it's kind of feeling like my work right now, the work that I have to do right now in creating this new habit, really comes to thinking about my big reasons of why I'm doing it and creating new rituals and the practice of thinking about these things as I'm creating new rituals. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, the importance of practice. You know, as we were growing up, you might have had to do something like a practice. I know for me, I had to practice the piano, and as much as I love piano, I just really didn't like practicing. It just seemed like such a drag. And so all through my younger years, I kind of had that idea that practicing was, it was such a chore. It was only later on in life when I really learned the value of practicing. Now, I've spoken about this before, so don't roll your eyes, but for me, I learned how to practice through my yoga practice. In yoga, you have to show up to get the benefits of it, that we all hear about it, right? You can't just do it one time and voila, I'm a yogini. You have to show up every single day, and little by little by little, you start getting the hang of yoga and start getting understanding what it's all about. But the main thing is you must have the discipline, you must have the practice of doing it. So when I started to do yoga, that was one of the main things, the main gifts that I got out of it, was learning how to practice. And from there I thought of other things that I could do in my life, that if I just showed up, if I just did them little by little, and I was conscious of them, if I was mindful of them, I could turn even the most kind of chore, the most basic chore, into, a meditation in mindfulness. Now, the reason why this idea of a practice of discipline, of being aware and conscious of things, that is important at midlife, is because a lot of times at midlife we have a feeling of instability. Either physically you can feel just like out of sorts, or things just don't really feel great, you just feel like on shaky ground, or maybe it's actual tangible things where there's relationship challenges or there's career transition. There's tangible things that you can really latch onto that are part of the transitional stage that we go through at midlife. So having the stability of a practice, even if it's something small or something basic, actually gives us a groundedness. It gives us something to kind of cling to when things are really, just all over the place and chaotic. And I know for me, my yoga practice is it is something, it's my friend, it's a friend that I can turn to when I'm feeling out of sorts. It's always there for me. And in turn, by doing that, they put some kind of method to madness. So I wanted to share with you just a few ways that I also, the way I also practice, and there are things that you probably do too, but maybe if you just spin them a little bit of a different way, you might see them in this new way of practicing, and therefore giving yourself just that little bit of stability. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning and I get out of my bed is I make it. I make my bed. I don't know where I heard it or where I got it, because it's something I haven't always done, but it's something I've done a good, in the last 5 or 6 years. When I get out of bed, I make it, and when I'm making my bed, I consider it kind of a spiritual practice. I make my bed, and I think about me and my husband, and I give gratitude for my home, and I give gratitude for our life together, and I give gratitude, for another day. Here goes another day. Thank you, thank you. And so that's my little practice. It probably takes, 2 minutes. It's no big deal, but I do that, and I don't have to do it. Sure, I could just walk out the door and just go about my day, just leave my bed unmade. But it just feels like the right thing to do. I'll even do it in a hotel. I'll just kind of make my bed a little bit, or if I'm in a tent, I'll make my sleeping bag a little bit. It just feels right for me to begin my day with some type of practice, and that's one thing I do. Another thing I do is when I'm flossing my teeth, I just really think about, what I'm doing for myself. I think about the things I'm going to say. I think about my mouth. I think about the communication. I think about the food I'm going to eat. I just think about, what comes in and comes out of me. And one very cool tip that I got from Dr. Christiane Northrup a few weeks ago on her radio show was the idea that when you're flossing your teeth, you're kind of moving chi around. Chi is thought of as life force, and I know that might sound a bit far out, but I like the idea of, I'm just creating a life force. So that's one of my other practices. Takes 30 seconds, but I'm mindful of it. And the third thing that I do, that I bet you do too, is when I'm doing my dishes and I'm cleaning the kitchen, I just kind of go back to that idea of being mindful, being present as I'm doing it. Rather than drifting off and thinking about things, I kind of like challenging my mind and just being there right then and there as I wash the dishes, as I feel the soap, as I wipe the counters, as I put things away. I like the calm. It actually gives me a calm feeling. And it reminds me a lot of the Buddhist philosophy of chop wood, fetch water. It's just a chore. Today I wake up and I chop wood and I fetch water, and tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to chop wood and I'm going to fetch water, and day after and day after and day after. And yeah, it's just a chore. But when you turn it into a meditation, into mindfulness, when you make it a practice, it changes everything. And again, it just gives you that groundedness, gives you that stability. So you don't have to go and be a yogini. You don't have to sit for 5 hours and contemplate your navel. These are very, very small, simple ways of being mindful during certain parts of your day that in turn will support you, will calm you down, will center you. And that's what we're all about at midlife, isn't it? Just striving for balance, striving to understand ourselves and how to help ourselves get control. That's what practice can do. It's very powerful. All right, I hope that really served you well. If you want to join in on the Take a Coffee break, we still have 2 more weeks to go. Just come on over to my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/thechangeguru.net. And there's plenty of information there. You just can hop in with us. It's never too late to come on in and create a new habit, right? Make a change. All right, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I love making these videos, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye.